YouTube, this is the Grey Wolf Vino and I'm back again. This time with a deck profile. So basically I've been thinking of incorporating Pendulum monsters, and this was probably my best attempt so far. You know, building a deck is a process and you can change your deck at any given moment for anything. So this is my Pendulum Entermate deck, which is basically the archetype that Yuya uses. So let's start off. We got two Alexandrite dragons. Why? They're just basically beaters. 2000 beaters. We got three odd-eye pendulum dragon. It's a searcher, and also it's the best card that Yuya has in his current arsenal. Yeah, so it searches, so you play it on the pendulum zone. It destroys itself at the end, and you get to bring out one pendulum monster with 1500 less attack points. So if imagine I had Magician of Chronomancy, but I didn't have Magician of Astromancy, then I can search for the other pendulum summon. And also when it's destroyed, it goes to the extra zone, so that sets it up for a pendulum summon right after, which is pretty boss, I think so myself. So we have two Magician of Astromancy, the two main cards, you know, the ones that go from 1 through 8, so you can summon the numbers through 2 to 7. This one, but its effect, I really don't know. I don't really use its effect, except its pendulum effect is when I have a pendulum monster and it battles, my opponent cannot activate any spell card during the damage step, which is really good. Then we have Intimate Whip Viper, really good card. I did a video on it. I'm gonna leave the link in the description. But basically, during either player's turn, it could switch the attack points of the monsters with the defense points, which is really, really good. And it could be any monster itself, another one. So yeah, that's why I run two. Goblinberg, you know, you can't really run a straight pendulum deck because pendulums are pretty slow. So you gotta set up for the exceeds. Summoner Monk also for exceeds, special summons. Intimate Bungalow or Bug on Dollar. I can't really pronounce the name, but basically it's one of the cards that you put in attack position. So when it's attack, it goes to defense position and negates the attack. So it's a stall card basically. So I run two. You know, Magician of Chronomancy. This the 8. It's the one with the 8 scale. It's the opposite to Astromancy. So basically, you put in the opposite zone, you set, and then, you know, it's just basically the pendulum effect is the opposite. It protects your monster that's attacking from trap cards, so your opponent can activate trap cards. And if I'm gonna run 3 odd eyes, I might as well run Entermate Discover Hippo. Really good card. It's pretty weak, but you don't use it to attack really. If you have a monster already and you summon, if you summon Discover Hippo, yeah, if you summon Discover Hippo, then on the turn you normal summon, you can also tribute those two monsters to summon Odd Eyes, pretty good. And then we have Intermate Swordfish, which basically when it's normal summoned, all monsters on my opponent control lose 600 attack, 600 defense. You know, MST, pretty much a staple card. Ego Boost, you know, Odd Eyes is 2500, so you gotta have cards that increase attack. Supply Unit, which is pretty good because once per turn when a monster is destroyed by battle or by card effect, you draw 1. So if your monsters are getting destroyed and you need draw power, really good card. I run 2. Shard of Greed is for jarred power, but you have to wait, but it's still pretty worth it. Sword of Blazing Light, Burning Light. Blazing was the Japanese name. So this is as I said back before in my Utopia deck profile. This card is the ultimate stall card. Your opponent cannot attack unless he has 5 or more cards in his hand. And usually when you play this card, your opponent has about 1 or 2. So, yeah. Unless they max seed you, then damn. But besides that, you're good. Lucky Iron Axe. It's basically for attack and draw power. Evil Slaying Shield Barrier. This is a pretty new card. And it says, face up monsters you control gain 300 attack during your turn, 300 defense during your opponent's turn. Which basically is a pendulum kind of effect, you know? Pendulum. Mirror Force, staple. Sakuretsu Armor. You know how I run a lot of weak monsters, I gotta protect my monsters. And then 2 magic cylinders for that reason, you know. Your opponent likes to go out with big, strong attacks, you just reflect them back at them. They're like, damn. Pendulum back. I did a video on this, but I don't know if the video for Pendulum back will be posted up before the video for this deck profile. But basically, I get to pick 2 cards in my... Okay, if I have 2 pendulum cards in my Pendulum Zone, which are probably going to be Chronomancy and Astromancy, right? I can pick up to 2 cards in my graveyard that fit between the pendulum scales. So let's say I had this in my graveyard, that in my graveyard, that in my graveyard. Yeah, I get to pick either Whip Viper and Dragon, Alexandrite Dragon, bring them back. And then I get to, you know, that's basically setting up for a Pendulum Summon. So you gotta run 2 of that. This one, Shadow Spell. It takes away 700 attack points, and your opponent cannot switch battle attack positions. So basically, battle positions. There it is. So basically, it gives you time and it stalls and it stays. It's not like Fiendish Chain, which is, I don't know why I didn't run Fiendish Chain. So I may end up taking this card out for Fiendish Chain. And Triple Dark Bribe, which I love, even though it gives your opponent a +1. There are some times when you really need an out, and this is it, you know. And then Utopia for protection. Ragna 0 really works because I run Intimate Whip Viper. Whip Viper switches the attack, which will either make it higher or lower. And since it changes the original, I can activate Ragna 0. And Ragna 0, if I detach one that targets an opponent's monster that's attack points is different from the original, it destroys it, and I get to draw 1 card, and I also get to attack. Pretty beast. And you know, staple Gaga Cowboy. So this has been my Pendulum Entermate deck so far, and as more cards get released, I'm gonna upgrade. I said upgrade. Yeah, basically I'm gonna upgrade, and I'm gonna continue building on to this deck. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And also in the descriptions, I have links to my giveaways and my Facebook channel. So check those out. And this has been the Grey Wolf Vino, and that's all.